We've got NFL booms and busts, NBA playoffs. Mark's got a hot take, all kinds of shenanigans, and we are damn glad that you're here. Hello, how's it going? My name's Matt. I'm the king of the goons, and you are listening to My Brother's an Idiot, the podcast where we discuss whatever the fuck we want, and you have to sit there and take it, just like the bit that's coming up. Welcome. As I mentioned, my name's Matt. I run this shit show. Let me kick you around the rest of the squad. First, holding down Extreme Southern Command, proprietor of Knox Nostalgic Collectibles. Tank, what is up?
How's it going? It's interesting week in sports.
Yeah, you could say that.
Happy about the Avalanche.
That was a hell of a game last night.
Excited for the Nuggets. And I have no idea what's happening with the Broncos, but seemingly they're in the right direction.
There you go.
So I'm doing good, actually.
All right.
He missed somebody, but I think that's okay.
I'm not worrying about the Rockies. They are less than 10 games in, I believe.
I mean, we'll talk about them in an hour and a half.
Yeah. When we get to, 100 games, I'll show interest.
But that time it's going to be over.
Just kidding, of course. Yes.
Just kidding.
All so right. In the season, I'm not even ready for it to be season for them right now. It's weird.
I mean, it's so long.
Yeah.
Like, it takes forever. But all right. Now we summon him, the Goldagoon, the Kaiser, the man we've named the podcast after because, quite frankly, he's an idiot. I summon him, my brother, Goon.
And I am here. I just found these over there.
So are those Denver Broncos swag sunglasses that they gave away at a game? They look like it. Yep, absolutely. Yep, the Aero Electronics Denver Broncos sunglasses
from like a decade and a half ago. Let's go.
Like 4 years maybe.
Like 17 years ago. Let's go.
I mean, Aero has been sponsoring Broncos games as long as I can remember, and no one really knows what they do. But they're always 5 years ahead if you listen to their advertising.
I don't think they know what they're doing either, so that's cool.
But Correct. They're 5 years ahead.
They're 5 years ahead.
Yeah.
I got a really good friend that works for him. I should just ask him, what is it that you guys do?
What is it you say you do here?
Yeah, what is it you do here? Did you file your TPS reports?
I love that actor.
He's so good. All right, we've got an action-packed agenda for you. Let's get into it. First, with the Goon Ranks bit. Yes, the Goons are going to rank their top 3 over the top and ridiculous wrestling gimmicks of all time. We can take each other's. We're just going to go around the room and go number 3, number 2, and then number 1. Doesn't matter who picks what and when, but it's sure to be a good time. Let's start with our number 3 over the top wrestling gimmick of all time. Mark, we'll start with you. What do you
got? My number 3 over the top is going to be way out there. It involves a Survivor Series from 1990, which I barely remember.
Oh my gosh.
They brought. Do you know this one, Matt? Do you remember this?
You may actually be picking my number 3 too, because that's funny.
They
carry on.
Oh my god, that's so random. So they advertised for like 2 months that they were going to have this egg, and Mean Gene for like 2 months was like, it's going to be the Playmate month of, and it was never the play. It was Hector Guerrero, the gobbledygooker. Nobody knew it was Hector Guerrero. It was the gobbledygooker. And it was one of the worst gimmicks in WWE history at that time, the F. But the gobbledygooker is my number 3.
The gobbledygooker was
generally accepted as top 2 worst gimmicks ever.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
It was a man-sized turkey. It's wild.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And they did. I mean, the Guerrero family is royalty in professional wrestling in 2 countries, right?
Yeah.
And just to do that to Hector the way they did it, it's like, come on, bro. Now you're a turkey? It's so dumb. So dumb. All right, Tank, what's your number 3?
All right, my number 3. Before there was Diesel, before there was Vinny Vegas, there was the great and powerful Oz.
Oh, Oz.
Kevin Nash, dressed up as the Wizard of Oz.
That's right.
Yeah.
Was one of the greatest fuck ups in wrestling history. You take a giant that can talk, can't wrestle great, but he can wrestle good enough to stay in the game, and you make him the great and powerful Oz. Fantastic.
Right. I do have to call out that someone Toaster is calling out Sacco. You know what, Toaster? You leave Mankind alone. That was an amazing gimmick, okay? Leave it alone. Still there. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mr. Sacco.
Toaster,
Yeah,
we still love you, buddy.
but leave Mankind alone. The bumps that guy took, he is an amazing gimmick. He's not on this list at all. All right.
He could be
number
ridiculous. Ridiculous doesn't mean bad.
No, that's true. And that's kind of the way I took it, was bad or just
I
stupid.
don't know. In the wrestling game, ridiculous usually is bad.
Right?
I love
my
ridiculous
number
shit, so that's
3
just my impression.
is a gimmick that literally got one promo and it went so badly that the push got trashed. You may have seen, if you follow any kind of social media, there is a meme for the Shockmaster.
Oh,
And
Yes!
you
God damn it! That was my number 2.
That was my number 2.
The Shockmaster was actually, the idea was actually pretty good, except it was a bedazzled Stormtrooper helmet. And when they introduced him, he broke through a wall and tripped. And his helmet fell off. And it was such a disaster. They shelved it.
It was
That was my number 2.
Disaster. Yes,
It was awful.
Fred Ottman, who was a actually decorated
He
tag
was a
team
good wrestler.
champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a
And
great
apparently
wrestler.
The thing that caused him to trip was that someone had errantly put a 2x4 or 4x4 across the base of the doorway to reinforce it.
Mm-hmm.
So when he tried to go through it, he just tripped over it and went straight
over
to the wall.
And his bejeweled Stormtrooper helmet fell
That
right
fell
off his face.
That fell off of his head.
Oh, WCW.
And you can hear if you hear the introduction when they first do it and you amp up the background volume, you can actually hear the British bulldog in the background saying he fell on his fucking ass. And he just starts laughing.
Right. That's almost as good as Booker T dropping an N-bomb on live television.
Oh my god,
That was so good.
I'm coming for you.
Yeah. Blah, blah, and he goes, oh. All right. You guys want to stay with the Shockmaster as your number 2 since we've already hashed it out?
Yeah, I probably would have been.
I mean, I had another one, but yeah, we're just gonna go.
Okay. All right. Well, my number 2 is a wrestler who actually, in another gimmick, was one of the most feared and baddest performers of his time. However, when he was initially introduced, he was an evil dentist. Yes,
Oh my god.
Yes, if you're familiar with Kane, the reason why they put the mask on him
Knox County
was so no one would recognize Isaac Yankum DDS. The evil dentist.
That name alone, man. That name alone.
Oh, Isaac Yankum.
Yeah, apparently Barry the King Waller's private dentist, which is wild.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, I just didn't want to think about it. That's funny.
Isaac Yankum.
Isaac Yankum DDS. Really just because of, he ended up being just an integral part of many storylines as Kane. And one of the best entrances ever, right? I mean,
oh yeah,
just the flames, yeah. And he just walked down with his mask and his hair and just destroy people. And he's copycat Undertaker's whole moveset.
Undertaker's brother.
Yeah, his brother, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how they got away with the moveset copycat.
Yep, exactly. So
he was his brother.
Yeah, Isaac Yankem, BDS.
Jesus Christ.
Also Diesel at one point.
All right. Okay. All right, Mark, what's your number one?
Yeah, so this one was tough. I'm going to do a couple of real quick shout outs. One is going to be to Dude Love.
Oh, yeah. Dude Love.
And the other one is to The Godfather.
Oh, yes.
The Godfather is one of the best walkout songs of the Attitude Era. I mean,
just the entrance itself was totally defines the Attitude Era. You know?
Pimpin' ain't easy, man.
Yeah,
pimpin' ain't easy, man.
Right?
So it's just like him walking out with literally strippers from whatever town they were in. It just totally defines that whole pre-E era, right? So, but my number one most ridiculous gimmick of all time, Mr. America. When
Ridiculous?
Hulk Hogan
pretended
to be Mr. America.
Yeah.
And was like refusing to, tell people he was Hulk Hogan, even though clearly it was, but like even like on a promo passed a lie detector test to prove that he wasn't Hulk Hogan as part of the gimmick.
Right. Was that pre
good.
Was that pre or post Rick Derringer, I Am a Real American?
It was
that was his walkout song for a while.
Right.
He had rejoined the WWE.
Yeah. Well, and he had supposedly been fired.
Yeah.
So he was hiding as Mr. America, and then he came back, and then he just quit anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Mr. America.
Yeah.
That's a good pull. I
is a
dig
good
that
one.
one. I dig that one a lot.
Fucking so good. I'm not Hulk Hogan. What are you saying, brother?
No, my name's Terry.
What are you saying? I'm Mr. America, brother.
All right, Tank, what's your top?
Okay, I have one honorable mention also. Kerwin White, which was Chavo Guerrero acting like a white, I don't even know what, wasp, I guess.
His white alter ego. I forgot.
Yeah,
I didn't even know.
right.
Right before Eddie died. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
dipping
forgot
back into
about
that Guerrero bucket. They had some weird ones.
Yeah.
Man, I forgot about that one.
There's
Where
an
he was
awful
wearing,
lot
like,
of
the tennis
Guerrero on this
shoes
list.
and white, tennis like shorts and shit.
Yeah, and he's wearing like New Balances.
Yeah. Forgot about that shit.
And my number one is not just weird, but is extremely creepy. And lasted exactly one night. And that was Dustin Runnels as Seven.
Oh, Seven.
Oh my god.
Which was basically
Right.
a pedophile, seemingly. He did one promo and then started shitting on the gimmick in the ring as this is stupid and pointless. And
with
Seven
like
was
the
never
white
seen again.
makeup with the red eye underliner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which essentially he was just a child creeper. Like that was the
Right.
whole thing. And it's like that is a wild way to promote wrestling.
Yeah. And they promoted it for so long that he was doing this, and then came out and then he shit all over it almost immediately.
Almost immediately.
Yeah.
Not like 30 seconds into the promo, he started bagging on it.
Immediately started hammering at it. Yeah.
If you're a Rhodes, I think you've kind of earned a little bit of the ability to do that, but still, the first night, man.
Yeah, it was gross and hilarious in the worst way possible.
Yeah.
Seven was awesome. All right. I also have a honorable mention. This one is a little bit more recent. Anyone, and I'm glad actually Toaster brought up Sacco, but anyone who puts a reptile color sleeve on their arm and then uses that with one punch to knock somebody out and pretends to be Italian for 10 years absolutely is a ridiculous, weird ass gimmick. Give me Santino Morello as my honorable mention.
That's such a pretty good one.
Bop, bop, bop. Go!
With a guy that was actually, potentially a shoot wrestler. He had a decent history of training athletes and being a mixed martial artist himself. Yeah.
He got pigeonholed.
Immensely talented athlete. Immensely talented athlete. And everyone bought the fact that he was Italian. And then they saw an interview with him after he retired. It's like, yeah, I really didn't like the gimmick so much. Like, whoa!
Yeah. That one was a wild one. That it lasted for 10 years with a fake Italian accent.
And a snake sock. However, and I'm really surprised that you other two guys didn't come up with this somewhere on your list. This is a gimmick that has been around for 2 decades, even to the point where 2 of them showed up in the ring at once. It's stupid. It's dumb. And if you hate clowns, it's scary as hell. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Doink the Clown.
Yes. Played by about 5 wrestlers, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so many people.
Well, if our sister was listening, she's not anymore.
Right. Yeah, there goes half of our audience. Oh, wait. Oh, we've got Toaster and Triffin. There you go. Yeah, so Doink the Clown.
Good one. Good one.
Yeah.
Right. I'm surprised that would
Doink the Clown. Remember when there was all the little tiny clowns too, for some reason?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, and they brought in all the little people. All the... Yeah. Mark.
Dink and Doink.
Mark almost. Yeah. Mark almost
nope.
said
No, I did not. I didn't come close to it.
Nope. You said
no. I said the little people. I wasn't.
And you said all the. You stopped yourself.
I
mean, you
I
did
did not stop myself.
You did good.
I was going to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, you did. Sure thing. You remember we had to have that talk with our mother?
Yeah. They don't. That was recently too. That wasn't that long ago. They don't particularly like that word, Mom.
Except for the one in the wrestling business, Hornswoggle.
I mean, yeah. He's made a career out of being,
and uses that word and said, "Yeah, that's what we are." He's like, "I'm not a dwarf. I'm not magic. I'm not a dwarf."
So there's what's the name of the comic? Brad
Williams.
Same Brad idea. Williams. He says it all the time, right? I mean, it's like, I can say cracker, right? So it's like it's one of these things. If you are, you can say it. Great. I mean, I'm not gonna say it. That's fine. It's not.
No, I just think because both those guys though, he's like, that's what I am. He's like, I don't like being called a dwarf. I don't live in Narnia. I don't,
right? I don't dig holes.
Diggy hole.
When you say little person, you're talking about little person or child? Which one?
I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy hole.
I've recently gone down the dwarf metal rabbit hole on TikTok, and it's outstanding.
I can see that.
So good. All right, there we go. So number 3, Gobbledygooker, Oz, and Shockmaster. Number 2, Shockmaster, and Isaac Yankum, DDS, and then Mr. America 7 and Doink the Clown. Good job, guys.
That was a fun one.
We only had one consensus, and it was on everybody's list.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I know, right? I mean, you had to throw Shockmaster in there because
this shit is ridiculous.
And the TikTok meme where he like bursts through, and it's almost like the Skeletor thing where until we meet again, and he like says something stupid, trips, and then wakes his way back through.
Oh my God.
Shockmaster says, "I have spoken," and he leaves.
Which that wasn't even his voice either. That's the hilarious part.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was just somebody like with a voice.
But it
So
was still funny.
Oh, it was amazing.
It was still funny. Yep, so good. Other news as we move on in the world of wrestling. So the WWE is not Tank going to sell to the
Nope.
Saudis. Instead, they have sold a controlling interest to Endeavor, owner of the UFC. What do you think?
I think it makes sense. I'm honestly surprised a little bit, but when you understand what Vince and the board have dealt with this past year, I think selling it was a priority. And once they got a decent offer, I think it was $9 billion. So once they got a decent offer, they were like, yeah, let's just jump on it. The only thing I'm surprised about is that Endeavor now has a controlling stake in UFC and WWE. So could lead to some interesting crossovers from the MMA world into wrestling, which they've done a lot of. I mean, Brock Lesnar is now a champion in both of the companies owned by Endeavor. So
Yeah, I mean, and
And with Ronda Rousey.
that goes back a little ways, right? That goes all the way back to Ken Shamrock. Like,
Oh,
the
yeah.
different crossovers.
Ken
So,
Shamrock, Tank Abbott,
yeah,
Dan Severn.
yeah,
Severn. Yep.
yeah. You know, there's just been guys all over the board that have gone back and forth. You know, so
Now I'm
it's
just wondering how long is
it's
it going to
gonna
be until
be-
we get Connor in the WWE?
Oh.
He is such a wrestler.
mm-hmm.
He'll make you millions. Put
He-
Conor
he
McGregor
is-
in there.
Conor McGregor's not a wrestler. Conor McGregor is a manager who will occasionally jump in the ring. I'm calling it right now. He's not going to be an everyday.
I hope you're
performer.
accurate actually on that.
His ability.
He's got to cut promos every day.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He's a
gonna
manager.
do the Paul Heyman promos like
Yeah.
Yeah. Give that man a promo every single day.
He is the Irish fried potato version of the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. All he's
really
going to miss
Yeah.
is the megaphone, right?
Right.
And he doesn't need it.
He
He'll make
does
sure you
not.
hear
No,
him.
he does not at all.
Yeah, get him the cockiest, unworthiest wrestler that you got on the docket and strap him to Conor McGregor and see what
Yeah,
happens.
you give him the newest version of Ryback, a big monster who's an athlete who can't talk, and give him to Connor and let him just blowhole his way through a half a season of Raw, and he's instantly over.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Right. He's Paul Heyman without the industry knowledge.
Yeah. Make him have him manage CM Punk.
God. Yeah, but CM Punk can actually cut a promo.
I know, but I'm just saying to piss in everyone's shoes.
Right? That would make some people mad. You know what's funny about the whole thing is not only does Dana White now have his fingers in the WWE pie and UFC, let's not forget about slap fighting, which is probably the most ridiculous.
I saw that for the first time today.
Oddly
Toaster sent me that today. It was intriguing as fuck, but
Right. And it's been around for a while, right? Those crazy Russians have been doing it forever. And
no. This is different. The one that I saw that was in Vegas, the Toaster sent me was two girls in 6-inch heels slapping each other on the ass.
Oh, yeah.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
the one.
No, not that.
I know what you're talking about, and that is intriguing as hell too.
Yeah, there's ass slapping also. That is a thing.
Yeah, that was fascinating.
That's not what
enjoyed
the
that.
Dana White one is. That's slap fighting, like slap boxing almost.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's slap boxing. It's just they wind up
They just
1, 2, and then the other guy passes
slap the
out.
piss out of each other. Every time I watch one of those, I get a
Oh,
headache.
God, I know.
You see
I
the
bet
giant
My
red-
ears
yeah.
literally start
Yeah.
ringing.
With
Ear
your
to
history
neck.
of
Yeah.
concussions.
Oh my god, it hurts my head just thinking about it. Like with the amount of concussions I've had, I just am like, oh,
Like, watching
know.
him get knocked out is the best though. Like,
Oh,
watching him
yeah.
get knocked out.
Yeah.
those physically hurt me. Like I
Yeah.
like injury
Like,
videos,
oh,
but head injuries, I can't do
Yeah.
head injuries very often
yeah.
Interesting, like you said though.
due to
Dana White-
personal circumstances.
Dana White has no holdings of WWE, and actually in this scenario, Vince McMahon is Dana White's boss because Vince McMahon is a member of the board. Dana isn't.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dana's considered a manager. He is not a member of the board.
Did you guys see the interview that Vince did in the last week or so about why he interviewed? And for some reason, 70-year-old Vince with hair color that looks like my beard all of a sudden turned into a
Errol
captain.
Flynn?
Yeah, he looked like a captain from The Sopranos.
Yeah,
and his like
he looks like Errol
mustache is
Flynn.
brown and his whole hair is brown and glossed back. Like,
Oh yeah,
Vince, bruh.
you've had gray hair for 20 years, bro.
Yeah,
What are you fooling with?
I'm like, what? I
mean, it is 100% fitting that the man who, had all of his wrestlers inflated and his whole business is based on, an act anyways, that if he goes brown, nobody really gives a shit.
Right. It was just right.
It's all fake anyways, right?
Like, who is that talking to that guy on MSNBC? Oh my God, that's Vince.
Vince.
and the fact that we've never seen him with and apparently his entire career has hated having facial hair to where he shaves multiple times a day and all of a sudden he's got a fucking pirate mustache.
He's like 3 curled hairs away from being the bad guy in a melodrama. Like,
looking like Hook.
You must pay the rent. I can't pay the rent. You must pay the rent.
Next thing you know, Vince McMahon is riding into a board meeting on a unicycle.
I just want to see him in the pirate's blouse.
Looks like one of those muscly, like 20s guys, with the twisty mustache, riding a unicycle. He's boxing like this,
He has those super high-waisted pants.
Yeah.
What do you mean? That's not a top knot. It's a bitch biscuit.
Oh, it's so good.
Okay, that's enough wrestling bullshit. I'm calling it, even though it's fucking entertaining as all get out. Yep. Moving on to other news, there are some fun things coming out of the state of Arizona in the sports world. First, we start with the Coyotes of the NHL. If you don't know, the Coyotes have been playing in an arena that sits maybe 5,000 people because they left where they were and they lost the lease. And now they're playing in a college arena. And they're trying to build a new one. So they're trying to build a new arena in Tempe. Tempe's like, yeah, that's great. We'll put up some stuff and it'll be a cool, complex. And everybody was like, great, that sounds like a good idea. And then Phoenix and Sky Harbor Airport got together and said, this isn't such a great idea. We need to change this. So Phoenix and Sky Harbor Airport filed a lawsuit, guys.
They're suing the city of Tempe.
Yeah, they're suing Tempe to stop it because there will be residential buildings in the flight path of Sky Harbor Airport. Someone please make sense of this.
Well, I think Phoenix is just doing it to piss in their Cheerios because they're angry.
They are. That's exactly what's happening here. Mm-hmm. It's just one city crying over another city's money. And like our sister aptly said, she is also on the line and they have planes going over them all the time. So, yeah.
I am every day. I live next to Peterson Air Force Base.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, sorry. Space Force Base. I'm sorry. They changed it.
Space Force!
Yeah, we see airplanes every single day flying right over us.
Yeah, we live in the flight path of the National Guard unit at Buckley.
Oh,
so one weekend a month, the 16s come screaming over at what feels like 10 feet above where we are. And
that's badass.
The dog doesn't get mad, the dog howls at the airplanes.
Yeah, when they come ripping in, those things are loud.
I can't make that noise in my house because if I do, the mine gets super concerned. Right. She thinks I'm speaking to her.
So it's going to be a bunch of drama here, Tank. Cities neighboring each other, suing each other because you got an arena and I don't. Listen, jackass in Phoenix, you don't get to rule everything just because you're Phoenix.
Right.
When
Phoenix sucks.
When the Rams moved, St. Louis sued the NFL, right? And Stan Kroenke, but not the city of LA.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. I couldn't remember if they sued the city of LA. And San Diego didn't sue LA either.
San Diego didn't care.
Yeah.
They were on the beach.
True, but
they were watching reruns of Top Gun. They didn't care.
Yeah, they're all wearing Miami Vice shirts and drinking, Miami Vices.
wearing 8 top, smacking people. Yeah.
All right, well, that's fun stuff in the hockey world. Some more serious news coming out of Arizona and the Arizona Cardinals. This is interesting, guys.
Hey, did this happen today?
No.
Okay, because I missed this whole thing, but go on.
Okay, all right. So this goes back to 2018. So in 2018, in July of 2018, Steve Keim, the general manager of the Arizona Cardinals, was pulled over and cited for DUI. And he was cited as having a BAC of 0.19, which is more than twice the legal limit. The Cardinals decided to get in front of the NFL's punishment and get in front of their process and said, all right, we're going to suspend him for 5 weeks. And the NFL said, cool, nice job, thank you for doing that.
Bless you, whoever that was.
Oh, that was Miss Sarah.
Okay. Bless you, Sarah.
Bless you, Sarah. So the NFL said, cool, good job, we appreciate it. Well, Bidwell, the owner of the Arizona Cardinals, decided that he couldn't, and this is all alleged, and we'll cover more of that in just a minute, but he decided he couldn't live without his general manager going into preseason and having to make personnel decisions. So he directed a couple of staffers to buy burner phones to give to him, keep with the staffer, and to give to Steve Keim so they can all talk against the rules. It gets better. So when the staffer, and I don't remember who this cat was, but he's a higher up in the organization, was making some noise about this really isn't right. We shouldn't be doing this. Bidwell berated him, demoted him, and then proceeded to sully his reputation throughout the league as a whiner and a spoil sport.
Yeah. He did some apparently he was a higher level executive, not just a regular staff member or anything. It was actually one of the executive members of the Cardinals.
Correct. The man's name is McDonough. What the hell is his name? Something McDonough. Brian McDonough, maybe.
That sounds correct.
Yep. So now there's more allegations that all this is going on, and then this guy is alleging that Mark Bidwell actively undermined Steve Wilkes as a first-year head coach to act as a fall guy for not having the GM there so he could go out and hire Cliff Kingsbury.
Jesus Christ.
Which is just a scumbag move. Like, Wilkes has dealt with, I think, more than most head coaches.
Yeah.
In his very short career as a head coach.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is one of the reasons why Steve Wilkes signed on to Brian Flores' lawsuit.
Oh, yeah.
With the whole racial discrimination thing that's going on and still is going on.
Going on.
Right. So it's more to come on this story. But, guys, this is wild, right? I mean, billionaires think they've got their own playground that they can live in and have their own rules and then get mad when someone calls them out on it and then throw other people under the bus.
Seems about right.
Yeah. Must be nice to be in the top 0.001% of the world and have nothing better to do with your time.
Right. Anything else on these two things, guys?
No, I mean, it's unfortunate with all the crap that's happening at the Cardinals, but based on how that organization has been run for roughly 60 years, it's not a big surprise.
Right. I mean, they've got a quarterback who likes to play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
More than he likes to play football, apparently.
A lot.
And we'll use that as a segue. Well, I don't know if you guys saw the CBS Sports article written by, who was this guy? Cody Benjamin, who looks like he's about 12. This guy went and ranked for the last 22 years, starting in 2020, or starting in 21. So about the last 22 years, he went and ranked and rated each first round quarterback selected in the NFL draft. And here was his rankings. Home run is a bona fide star with championship caliber talent, production, and/or potential. A mixed result, a solid, maybe even great, who had an impact, but for whatever reason did not last. Incomplete, quarterback who's yet to prove himself, could be trending up, could be trending down. And miss, obviously, not quite going out as far as saying that they're a bust, but he's saying that they're a bust. 2022, we had Kenny Pickett. He calls him incomplete. I think we can all agree there. That's no surprise. We haven't seen enough of the good Mr. Pickett to make a determination as to whether or not he and his small hands are good enough.
Well, he's looking decent so far. Let's leave it there.
He's funny. He's nice. And gosh darn it, people like him.
Are we talking about Kenny Pickett or Stuart Smalley?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Let's go to 2021. Trevor Lawrence, home run. I think we can all agree that Trevor Lawrence is the real deal, was the real deal coming out. Generational talent, just was submarined by piss poor coaching in his rookie season.
Yeah, it's seemingly going to be, I'm betting at least top 5, maybe top 3 next year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Zach Wilson with the Jets, a miss.
Yeah, Mother Humper is a miss so far.
Yeah,
I mean, he didn't really get a fair shake, being that he was with the Jets, but
they had a good offense this last year.
Yeah, I don't know. But either way, the Jets not really the best situation, but yeah, right now he's a miss.
Right. Trey Lance, incomplete. I would call this incomplete trending down. What we've seen from Trey Lance has not been great. Obviously, he was supposed to be the heir apparent this year, but got hurt. So I guess we'll see what happens next year, even if he can supplant Brock Purdy if he comes back from injury.
Yeah, out of that quarterback room, I'm starting Purdy. So,
right. Yeah, the Shanahan tree has an interesting job to do with the quarterback room this year. But I think Trey Lance is on the downward spiral, unfortunately, due to his injury. Brock Purdy just showed to be a really fucking good quarterback.
Right. I don't think Trey Lance can play. I have said from the beginning that I thought that draft pick was a reach. Pure talent and athleticism only gets you so far. You also have to have a good brain in order to be able to play quarterback, and he has not been able to establish he can make good decisions consistently, which you have to do.
Yeah, and he's a skilled athlete. No one's denying that. That dude is an athlete to the nines. But even if you watched him play in college, you could kind of see that the not necessarily like intelligence, but the emotional response to pressure is not there.
Yeah, granted, it's only an 8-game sample set, so we're obviously going to get more.
Maybe
if he gets healthy.
Hopefully.
Right? Yeah,
hopefully.
if it's not in San Francisco, he'll get another shot regardless of it's in San Francisco or not. He'll latch on somewhere else because he's just too good of an athlete not to give him a try. But 8 games, I don't think is enough. So I'm okay with the incomplete there. Justin Fields, he's got it as an incomplete up, mostly because of his legs. I don't know if I can give him an up just yet. I don't think he can throw particularly well, especially under pressure. He tends to take off too much. Super questionable decision making with his arm. Now with his legs, that's one
hell of a running back.
He's an awesome running back, right? And we've spent hours on this show talking about how the running quarterback just is the quarterback who runs is better than a running quarterback, right?
It'll be interesting to see if they're seemingly going to give him some more talent around him, which is needed because if you look at last year, questionable at best at the talent that was around him. So we'll see if that changes anything, I think, this year.
Right. Mark, anything on
Justin
Fields?
You literally just hit what I was going to do. Is I don't think any of his weapons were any good, and his offensive line was kind of trash. So let's see what he has with a little bit more talent. but not a bad first-ish year for him. So I'll give him a pass.
Right. Incomplete, I think, is a solid
at this
pick,
point,
right?
definitely.
We can all agree with that. Yep. And then finally in 21, you've got Mac Jones, who he has as an incomplete down. Mark, what do you think about this one?
Tough choice, I guess. He had an up and down year this year with the Patriots, and the Patriots didn't do all that great, but again, not a super talented group of weapons around him. Maybe worse so than what he had in, what they have in Chicago. So, well, again, I'm just going to give him a pass and see what next year does.
Tank, there has been some news out of New England about Mac Jones going outside for counsel about how to be a better pro, and it seems to have pissed Belichick off.
Yes.
Do you think this is going to impact this going forward?
I don't know if it's going to impact him much. He's guaranteed to get another year. They don't really have another option at this point, unless they're going to draft and replace him for some reason. I think he is capable of being a decent to high-end game manager quarterback. He definitely needs talent. They have zero talent on offense on that team outside of Ramondre Stevenson.
Who is good at best.
Exactly. I think what was his best receiver was Naheem Hines, I think. That's not great. So give him some good receivers, give him some options.
Give him an offensive
get
coordinator.
Matt Patricia off the fucking sideline because that guy's
he's trash.
Fucking turd. And he could be good. I think Bill's going to definitely put the thumb on him though and say, "Hey, we don't do that here." But I don't think that's going to be a detriment to them working together in the future.
All right, let's move on to 2020, and it's 2-2. Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert, both home runs. I think we can all agree those guys are awesome. And then you've got Tua Tagovailoa and Jordan Love, both as incompletes. I would give Tua an incomplete trending up if he can stay healthy. Mark, what's
that's kind of where I am. I like the incomplete. The trending up is a big if. There's a big if because his health has not been good for a long time. So I just put him at incomplete. He's just too unreliable as far as standing up. Jordan Love, the incomplete on that one, I would give him a trending down. We'll see what happens this year, but I don't think it's going to happen. He deserves a chance, but man, he hasn't looked super awesome in limited action.
Yeah, and he's had less than the 8 games that Trey Lance has had. So I think just a straight incomplete for him is okay because you really got to give a guy more than mop up appearances. Tank, what say you?
I'm gonna go definitely incomplete with Love. We have no idea what this guy's going to do. And the seriously unfortunate part about it is he's losing what little receiving talent they had right now.
Also, can we talk about I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but technically Aaron Rodgers is still a Packer right now. Let's not forget about that.
Not based on what the team is saying. Not based on what he's saying. So.
Right. Yeah. He's going to go somewhere. He's not going to play.
No, I understand, but it still hasn't happened
right.
yet.
No, it hasn't happened yet.
Not.
And I think if it doesn't work out with the Jets, I'd be weirdly interesting to see if the 49ers with 2 injured quarterbacks on their roster don't take a swing out of nowhere.
Wow.
Where does that leave Green Bay?
Jordan Love.
With a first-round pick in Jordan Love.
Okay.
Because that's what they want.
Oh, I see. A swing at Rodgers. I see what you're saying. Got it. Okay.
But yeah, Love is a massive incomplete. Tua, unfortunately, I want to say that he's trending up, but right now it's mixed results because we don't know if he's going to play again. As simple as that. He wants to.
Right.
He's currently testing well, but with at least 2 major concussions plus all the other injuries, that's a rough go of it to have him play farther than a couple more years right now.
Yeah. 2023 is going to go a long way to tell us where Tua's career is going to be headed. If he can stay on the field for, 13, 14 games, because, nobody plays all of them, right? So if he plays the vast majority of the games and plays well, I think that
and we'll see. Yeah,
changes
I
for
would
sure.
definitely.
Right.
And I'll agree with Burrow as being a home run because that dude shows that he is just one of the coldest motherfuckers on the planet and in the game right now and can win from any position, seemingly.
Right.
I'm going to say Herbert, though, is not a home run.
You are out of your goddamn
Herbert's not a home run.
You are out. You are out of your mother-loving
physical
mind.
Traits and physical ability to play the quarterback, absolutely. But you cannot put it all on. He obviously has an idiot for a coach. I get that. But until he proves that he can win when he needs to win, regardless of what's going on around him, because it's not like they don't have the offensive talent. They definitely do. And they still keep failing.
I'm going to remember you said that.
Remember I said it. If I'm wrong and they get to the playoffs this year, whatever. Yeah. I'll make whatever bet you want. But
Herbert's the real deal.
He looks like the real deal. Physically, he's the real deal.
He's
but I'm wondering if the mentality is there because he has not shown that yet.
All right, moving on to 2018. We've got two misses, Darnold and Rosen. I think we can all agree that those two out of the Hall of Fame 5. You've got 2 home runs, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, an MVP and one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league. I think we can all agree that those two. Yes, Mark.
Did you skip a year?
2019.
Oh, I did. I totally did. 2019. Yeah. All right, we'll go back to 2019. I was just scrolling and I didn't realize.
I'm not trying to get us to go longer on this segment.
No,
I just want to make sure that I'm not out of my fucking mind.
You're
over here just doing the weekend at Bernie's, just like, wait a minute. That's not the list I'm looking at.
Let's go to 2019.
We'll cover the one I think we can. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no shit, right? Hey, thanks for
helping.
I
didn't even catch that. Good catch.
It's a lot to do. It's a lot to do over here.
Yeah,
all right,
I'm
trying to wrangle you two morons. All right. So there is one miss out of 2019. Dwayne Haskins. Tragic story at the end of his life, but in his football career was not good. I think we can all agree with that one.
Never grew out of that adolescent fucking thing that he had going on.
No, he's another Ohio State quarterback, right? I mean, there's just.
I won't comment on that. It's just that situation is just horrible.
Yeah, it was not good.
Right. Yeah, and we may cover it in a couple weeks when more stuff comes out. But there's been some stories about what's happened to Dwayne Haskins in the hours before he passed away. So I wanted to wait till we got some more concrete details. But there's some interesting stuff there. Kyler Murray, incomplete down, gentlemen.
Yoda, will Kyler Murray have a resurgence this year?
Simple question you ask. No, I answer.
Fortune telling Yoda says that Kyler Murray is done. I'm going with him.
I'm going with him too.
Agree. Trending down, which is unfortunate, but trending down.
Right. Yeah. Just, $1 million talent, 2-cent head.
MLB.
Daniel Jones. Right. Daniel Jones, incomplete up.
Tank thinks he's a home run.
My boy, I do not think it's a home run.
Oh, come on. That's your guy.
I'm not giving him incomplete. I think mixed results, and I think with some dynamic talent around him, he's going to prove the doubters wrong this year.
But Vanilla Vic can do it all.
He can.
Will Daniel Jones be good this year?
Difficult to see. Always in motion. The Force.
He copped out.
That's mixed results.
He copped out.
That's mixed results.
That seems like an incomplete to me, but he copped out.
I'd rather be incomplete up than mixed results, but whatever.
Well, he's not. It's not a result. He's not doing. He's not done.
Yeah, that's true. Well, most of these guys aren't. Right?
Well, yeah, I guess we're talking about now, except for some unfortunate ones are not. Out of the game yet.
Right. And I'm sure that beginning of the season, the Daniel Jones podcast.
Yes.
It's coming.
My own weekly podcast of what
Yeah.
Andy's done.
Right.
We'll at least have to give you a segment. Tank's
Yeah.
weekly Daniel Jones update.
Tank's
I cannot
weekly
wait.
Daniel Jones fan
I
club.
cannot wait for the Daniel Jones weekly fan club featuring
It's going to
Tank
be
on Daniel Jones's bye week.
Yeah.
That's going to be the best episode of this podcast of all time.
Going to be the Vanilla
Our
Vic
luck,
talk
that'll-
of dimes. Is what we're going to call it.
Please let that bye week be
Oh
a
my
Nerds
God.
week. Please let that bye week be a
Oh my
Nerds week.
God.
All right, let's move on now to 2018. 2 home runs, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. I think we can all decide, yes, those guys were home runs. One's an MVP, one's fantastic talent, one of the top 3 in the league. And Darnold and Rosen being both misses, I think is probably pretty safe to say. The one I want to discuss a little bit here was Baker. Baker's the number 1 pick. He's on his 4th team, and they've got him as a mixed result. Tank, I know you've got some pretty strong opinions about health and how that's impacted Baker's trajectory, and how I strongly disagree with those things. But you go on ahead.
And you're right. And you're entitled to the disagreement, but I think there was so much taken away from him with the injury, and I think that really did end up impacting him more than he thought it would. He was screwed by coaching. He took a decent team and made them look really good with a good running system behind him. And I say it is mixed results, because he has had, even when he with LA, mixed results. With Carolina, mixed results. He looked amazing at once, and then just like he'd never played a down of football in his life the next week. So I think he's one of those guys that, if brought up better and given a more stable environment, I think he would have been better than he is currently.
And if my aunts had nuts, she'd be my uncle. This is the first pick of the draft.
I agree.
He's on his 4th team in 6 years. He's a miss. He's an absolute miss. You draft a quarterback first of the draft, that guy has to be an all-star.
Okay, but we saw the beginnings of that.
We didn't see the beginnings of that. We
He
did
had
not.
one.
No, we did not.
He had one in really good season.
He had a good
But
season. I wouldn't call it a
He had a really good
season.
season. He took a team that was perennially dog shit for 20 years to the playoffs. That's impressive.
In a dog shit division.
How? You just said Lamar was a what?
Yeah,
Same division.
Lamar is great.
Same division.
Right. He didn't win the division.
Huh?
He didn't win the
But
division.
same division, and
So
he did decent. He took the for somehow always winning Steelers and beat them in the playoffs, even with a fucking tree stump of a quarterback in the backfield.
Right. That was the very tail end of Roethlisberger's career, and he was awful.
But he still helped beat that team up. I'm saying,
Right.
For the first couple of years, you can't blame that on him, because look at the coaching. I mean, good God, who has had a worse coaching situation than him entering the league? It was terrible. And he had one good season, and then he got injured. And it's hard to recover from that, unfortunately.
Right. Well, I mean, when he goes to 3 other teams, they obviously have to run physicals, and clearly the arm was fine enough for him to go to LA and to go to Carolina, and now to allegedly be the starter in Tampa. Like I said, he's the number 1 pick of the draft. You have to be the real deal. And some of that has to fall on his shoulders.
Well, some of it should fall on his shoulders. I don't disagree with that. I just think that he was given such a crap start that it's hard to, beat your way out of that system.
Right. I guess we'll see what happens in Tampa in 2023. More to come. All right. 2017, Mitchell Trubisky with the Bears, a miss. I think we can all agree that was crap.
That was crap for so many reasons. Massive reach. massive underutilization of the talent that he did have. Just degenerately shitty coaching, and now he's a backup. So, yeah.
Right. And then the other one we know for sure in 2017, Patrick Mahomes. Yeah.
Already a
absolutely.
Hall of
Yeah,
Famer
home
while
run.
he's playing.
Right.
So there you go.
Right. The other one picked in 2017 was Deshaun Watson. They've got him as a mixed result. Good player in Houston. Mark. Cleveland, too soon to tell. Lots of stuff going on off the field. I kind of agree with the mixed result here.
Fuck. Okay, sure. Deshaun Watson is a trash human being, and the Houston Texans are a disgrace of an organization for supporting all he did.
Okay, we'll take what he did off the field off the table momentarily. I do think that is a factor, and it should be a factor in his career because he shouldn't be playing because of that. But you can't deny the talent that was there, especially with that Houston team that wasn't very good. And he still took them to the playoffs.
He's
And
a shit human who got drafted by a shit organization run by shit people.
True. And I'd say mixed results is inaccurate, but I'd say it's on the downward spiral after what happened last year.
I would agree with that 100%. 2016, the one I think we all could agree on, Paxton Lynch, drafted 26, where the Broncos miss. The only man to have ever been benched in the NFL, the CFL, the USFL, and the XFL. Go Paxton. Jared Goff, they have as a mixed result. Okay. Sure, on again, off again. Yeah. Again, that's one of those first picks in the draft. I think should have been better than he was. I would probably give him a miss unless he turns it around again and continues what he did last year in Detroit. Takes them to the playoffs. That might actually be for the Rams, not necessarily a home run, but definitely a home run selection and pickup by Detroit.
Well, yeah, and I'd say he had one good season with the Rams. And then, he didn't do bad last year. So mixed results, I kind of understand. I actually, weirdly enough, leaned into incomplete on him because maybe getting, a better, I don't know, a more grounded.
Don't say coaching. Don't say coaching. Don't say coaching. God, don't say coaching.
Just let me finish the sentence. A more blue collar coaching approach that he's getting in Detroit.
If you guys need me, I'm gonna go smoke a stogie. You guys talk about this shit for a while. I'm just
Goff is incomplete.
I'm gonna go take a shit or something.
Paxton is a massive miss.
What? You don't want to talk about Jameis Winston, Mark?
I don't want to hear you two guys bitch about if it's coaching or not coaching.
I'm not bitching.
Matt was just bitching.
Okay. But I think give Goff one more year and we'll see what he actually might have in Detroit.
All right. We'll do one more of this year and then we'll call it Carson Wentz, Eagles pick number 2, mixed result. I agree.
Yeah, he was good while he was healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And then he fell off a cliff.
Yep. Had a MVP caliber season in 2017. Has a Super Bowl ring, but was hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I mean, he got hurt and now he sucks.
All right, let's move on to more news in the NFL. We have a signing, boys. Odell Beckham Jr. is a Raven. 15 guaranteed.
Him too.
What a swing.
Oh, man, that is just a massive swing.
15 guaranteed.
Yep.
For a guy that didn't play last year, coming off of a pretty severe knee injury. The second one of his career. If they're right, they're going to look like geniuses.
Well, Mark, they've been saying, Lamar hasn't had that guy. Now he's got that guy. Who's on the hot seat more here? Is it Lamar if he returns to Baltimore, or is it Harbaugh?
No, it's going to be Lamar Jackson if he returns. But that's also, these are all hypotheticals because technically he doesn't want to play in Baltimore anymore. So
Are we going to say that OBJ is still that guy?
yeah, I mean, he's a guy.
He was the third string receiver for a Super Bowl team. And he did good while he was there.
Yeah.
Not going to deny that. But is he a number one at this point?
They paid him like a number one. He better be
Yeah.
a number one.
Right. Yeah, they paid him like a number one, but
Right. I mean, if he blows an Achilles in week 2,
I
Jesus,
think.
did you just Michaela OBJ?
Maybe.
Did you just dipshit OBJ?
Maybe.
Jesus Christ.
Blow out a
Sit
fucking
out.
wheel. Yeah.
Odell, this is Mark talking.
Don't play week 2.
Sit out on week 2. Don't play.
Right.
Don't play.
Because she did that.
This is for you.
I
This
pulled a
is-
hamstring. Yeah.
Who did she harpoon?
I think it was Carson Wentz.
It was Carson because he broke both of his ankles.
Yes.
Oh my god.
She called the ankle. She called the week. She called it all.
I forgot it was the Wentz injury.
It was the
So
Wentz
he's going to
injury.
break both of his ankles, and then he did.
She absolutely submarined that man.
And I actually think it's on Harbaugh at this point because if you chase Lamar Jackson out of town and then pay OBJ $15 million, you're kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
So whoever's decision that was, is that the GM or is that Harbaugh making that?
That's
decision?
probably the GM. I think the GM there's got a lot of power as historically they have in Baltimore. So
Maybe that guy loses his job if this
Yeah.
doesn't pay off.
right. We'll see. We'll see. All right. More news in the NFL. Well, Mark, this was your bit. He ran away.
Mark.
The former third pick in the draft, Jeff Okudah, cornerback for the Detroit Lions. I think we can call this one a miss because he did not have a good career with the Lions.
He was
traded-
okay.
He was
was
all
okay.
right. He was okay, but he was the third string cornerback when you're
Yeah.
drafted number 3. You should probably be pretty good. But he got
Uh-huh.
traded to the Falcons for a 5th rounder.
Yeah, they swapped a pick that's worth, 2 mid-round, first-round draft picks for a 5th rounder. Is basically what happened.
Yeah.
And wasted some money on some guy who didn't live up to any potential. Is that coaching? You tell me, Tank.
I don't think so in this case. I think they overreached on Okudah when they first.
Oh,
for him.
1,000%. I don't think they had any idea who they wanted, and he was the best player available
Which
on their board.
on their board. I don't
Right.
think anybody else's board was Okudah at number 3.
No.
Let's go ahead and put it that way.
Right.
God, is this better or worse than the Cooper trade? Legitimately from Dallas when they got rid of Amari.
When they offloaded Amari.
Because
You know,
Amari at least had talent and showed
Amari
it on
can
the
play.
field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Amari could play. I don't know. I think that there was more to that trade than just on the field. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
they
there
didn't,
has to
they,
be.
they didn't want to pay Amari. They already had the
Yeah,
Alabama
instead they
kid,
had Gallup and he's injured again.
right? And they already had a number 1, so they didn't want to. They couldn't pay 2 number 1s. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was money. That had
what a
nothing to do with his talent.
What a sad fucking thing for Okudah, and it's not to, it's not trying to disrespect the guy, but he wasn't a number 1 talent. He wasn't a first round talent. He was a
No.
maybe second round talent when he was coming out. And at this point, yeah, traded for a 5th rounder. That kind of shows how much you were valued on that defense.
This may be the last time I can pronounce his name as if I were Jabba the Hutt. So I want to do that real quick.
Go ahead.
Oh, Kuda.
You think we're not going to hear from him in Hot Man?
I may not be able to do that ever again.
I know.
The
Both
Okuda, the Okuda Jabba the Hutt reference may
What
be
you want?
obsolete after this year.
Please let them draft some guy in like the 7th round. Watch you a pinky.
Oh my god.
The eyeball.
Watch you up, Inky. They want a wonga.
They want a wugga. The job on the hook of it, no bargain.
Like he does it.
I love it.
I got a couple 3 weeks ago. I really got hammered and watched Return of the Jedi, and I got through about the first 15 minutes, and I had to turn it off because I was laughing so hard. Watch you a pinky.
Watch you up, Inky.
Shuda. Ani wani koha.
Dejava no bada.
The Wilhelm scream when one of the worm guys falls off. Ah! I'm putting that in post. All right, that's enough of that bullshit. All right. Next. Oh,
Such a
Mark.
sidetrack. Sorry.
That was so good.
Sorry
though.
about that.
That's all right. All right. We are at the point where we talk about going into the depths and recesses of Mark's tortured brain and allow him to spit whatever he wants. And we just have to sit here and take it. It is time. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you hear the alarm. It's time for Mark's hot take of the week.
There's an alarm?
Oh, there will be when I put it in post.
Awesome. All right, everybody. We're going to do something way out of control today, okay? We're going to go degenerate, and I'm going to pick the champions for all 3 major league sports that are currently going on right now. So let's start with the one that is closest to the playoffs. Yes, that is basketball. I am currently looking at the bracket where we've got the Lakers and T-Wolves and the Pelicans and Thunder. I think that the Lakers will get in and the Thunder get in? Sure. Oh, no, they got to play the Timberwolves, right? After that. I don't know. Anyways,
No.
whoever wins that game, what?
You got to play the Lakers. So whoever wins that game plays the Lakers.
Okay.
The
So
Thunder and
whoever wins,
Pelicans.
either way, it doesn't matter because they get knocked out in the first round by the Nuggets. Suns and Clippers. Suns win that. And then let's see, Kings, Warriors. Warriors win that. And Lakers, Grizzlies. Grizzlies escape out of that one in a 7-game series. And LeBron cries. Let's just get this over with. We're going to have the Celtics and the Nuggets in the finals. And that's right, ladies and gentlemen. The Denver Nuggets win their first NBA championship right here. You have it right here. The Denver Nuggets win their first NBA championship. That's my first call. Now we'll go to hockey. Hockey, everybody. I'm going to go with this current bracket that I'm looking at right now, which has Winnipeg versus Vegas. Let's go ahead and take Winnipeg on that one, knocking off in a surprise. Then you've got Edmonton and Los Angeles. I'm going to pick Edmonton on that one, of course. Colorado wins. Dallas wins. We're going to have in the Eastern Conference. It doesn't matter because the Boston the Boston's going to be in the finals again. Red Sox hockey in the finals again. And it will not be against the Avalanche. No, ladies and gentlemen, it will not. I know, sad to say, but they're not going to make it out of the second round, unfortunately. I don't know who they will be playing, probably Minnesota, but they don't make it out. We have Edmonton representing the Western Conference. So Edmonton versus the Red Sox hockey. So you have the Red Sox winning the Stanley Cup this year. Yes, it's going to be the only thing the Red Sox do right is win a Stanley Cup, because in the MLB, I am picking the Detroit Tigers to finish last. I'm going to pick out of the American League, the Tampa Bay Rays will drop off, even though they are red hot right now. That's just what happens. We're going to have the Rangers. Yes, the Rangers in the AL, And I want to pick not the Mets because that's just not going to happen. It will be the Dodgers who figure it out. And the Rangers win the whatever you want to call it, since they don't have the World Series because Japan has it.
Are you done?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. I guess we have to sit here and take that. Okay. Let's move on.
Do you like how I mixed in the last one I did at the end?
Yeah. I did. All right, let's move on to the Spiders Cup. Yes. Hello.
Yay!
Yay! We get to talk about bad baseball. All right, if you are new to the program or just don't remember, we like to track where the worst teams in baseball are and who is going to lose 100 games. And the worst team that loses 100 games or more gets awarded the Spiders Cup. We didn't get one last year, I don't think.
No, we did not.
We did not. So it is a 382 winning percentage that gets you to 100 losses. Currently in the National League, there are two teams at 382 or below and one teetering on the edge. The two teams that are below,
There's two on the edge. Seattle and Chicago.
You're in the wrong league. I'm saying National League.
There's 3 in the National League.
I thought you said
and
AL.
1 teetering on the
National
edge.
League. There, I've got the Phillies and the Nationals,
Yep.
both under, and the Rockies teetering at 385.
Don't forget Cincinnati.
They're at 400, so I'll give them, the extra 17 points.
They're at 364 right now.
Yeah, 364.
They lost.
Did they lose? Okay.
They lost.
Let's just refresh that then. Let's do it. Clearly, I had this pulled up.
I'm actually surprised the Reds have won 4 games. They're a really bad baseball team.
Right. Yeah, the Nationals
really bad.
Nationals managed to take 2 in Colorado. We all know
they managed to beat
what the team that really surprises me that's doing really well right now is the Pirates. Like they're a 500 baseball team, and I thought that they would be dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they would be absolute dog shit.
Well, I mean, it's all the young talent before they get traded away at midseason.
Yeah, you got a point. They'll Rockies that shit up.
If they go fire sale, that's all over. Yeah. And then in the American League, the Tigers are 2-9 at 182. They're the leaders of the clubhouse. That's just Mark. What do we say about bad baseball?
Bad baseball is bad baseball.
Baseball,
dude. If you look at that AL Central, that division is complete fucking trash.
Oh yeah,
like the White Sox are awful. The Royals have nobody, and the Tigers are just fucking dreadful.
Yeah, the White Sox are teetering at 385. The Royals and the Tigers firmly below. The Royals are at 308. In the AL West, it's just the Athletics with the Mariners teetering at the same 385.
Mariners will finish in the playoffs this year. They're going to bounce back.
They have some good hitters on their squad.
Yeah, they're just a slow start. They'll be fine. Once the East Coast teams start playing in Seattle at midnight their time, you'll see some swings of those records at that point.
Right.
Those West Coast swings are brutal.
Right. Big surprises, Mark, in baseball this year. I mean, obviously we have to talk about the Rays. They're at 12-0.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell of a start. It's early. We're 12 games into a 162 game season, but what do you think?
It's a cool start. Caught a lot of people by surprise, and they've been winning games multiple ways. It's not just, like their solid defense and, pitching that, they won a game yesterday or the day before. It was 1-0. And then today it was 9-7 was the final. They're just playing really, really solid baseball right now. I don't know if they can stay healthy for 162 and keep this up. I mean, obviously there's a lot of power behind them with the two teams there. I'm hopeful that the Rays can keep this up. I'm also hopeful that the Red Sox get out of the cellar and at least beat up on the Orioles this year.
Yeah, we need to have a little bit of trash talk between you and Muti.
Yeah, it sucks to being at the bottom, but I knew it was going to happen.
Right.
Well, yeah, you guys basically have nobody anymore.
I mean, our offense is decent, but our pitchers,
Your
our
pitching's
third
better.
pitcher is our best pitcher. Pavetta is our best pitcher. We've got Chris Sale, who, that guy, it's rough watching him. And then we have Corey Kluber was our big offseason acquisition. So it's just not looking good.
And we established that Corey Kluber is not hanging arm guy.
No, he is not hanging arm guy.
He is not hanging on there.
Christ.
Tank, you got any MLB thoughts?
Chris Sale is hilarious. I don't think the Rangers are going to stay at the top of that division for the season. I weirdly enough think somehow the Angels end up putting it together finally. I mean, they do have two of the best talents in the entire league, and one of the seemingly on a pace to be best ever. And I think maybe they put it together this year finally. They're actually doing decently away, so maybe they can travel a bit better this year. And no, yeah, that's about it. Central sucks on both sides, and whoever wins those division, it's just by default. So,
all right, let's move on to more now playoff stuff. Mark kind of touched on it a little bit in his hot take of the week. The NBA playoffs are underway with the play-in games having completed some, more to come. But the Lakers beat the Timberwolves. Guys, I don't know if I can think of a more nerve-wracking, weird, and strange way to send a team into overtime than when Mike Conley has to hit 3 free throws with 0.1 seconds left after AD shits the bed and fouls him on a weird
what a
3-point
stupid play by AB.
Right. But the ball's on that guy.
You think he just wanted to go home?
Yeah, he just wanted to go home.
I fucked that season.
Yeah, now they get the Grizz. But still, mad props to Mike Conley. I mean, hitting those 3 free throws. Granted, they lost the game, sent him into overtime, but that's a moment in Minnesota history that's just going to be remembered forever.
I feel bad for Towns. Honestly, I think he deserves better than that fucking team. He's a really good talent, and that team is not fantastic. Let's put it that way.
Well, they're going to get the winner of the Pelicans and Thunder game, and then we'll see what happens there. On the other side of the bracket, the Hawks beat the Heat, and the Hawks are going to play the Celtics. The Bulls, on the strength of their most recent win, they just won and beat the Raptors in a tightly contested game just a few minutes ago. They are now going to play the Heat for the right to play the Bucks. See you later. Bye.
Yeah.
The Hawks, that was not a big surprise to me. I thought they were going to actually do pretty good. And Heat, I mean, they won their division, but who cares? Right? Who cares if the Heat won their division? Their division was garbage. So I think they're going to get smoked no matter who they play.
It's like the Kings. Who cares who's in their division?
Right. Like, the Heat are not impressive to me at this point, so who cares? And then, yeah, that's about it.
All right, fellas, let me ask you this. So there's 3 teams left that the Nuggets could play. It's the Pelicans, the Thunder, and the Timberwolves. Give me one who would be the easiest opponent and one that you don't want to see.
The easiest, I think, would be the Pelicans.
Oh, really?
Nothing about that team scares me.
Especially with no Zion.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that's scary about that team is Zion.
Well, he's out.
He's out.
Exactly.
Right.
Which,
So, yeah, that's I don't remember the other two things you wanted me to
Thunder or Timberwolves.
Kill.
Who don't you want to see?
kill, fuck, or marry. Is
Right.
that what we're doing?
It's just kill or marry.
Which one would I rather see?
Or rather not see. You'd rather see the Pelicans. So we've decided that the Pelicans are a team that it's probably the easiest of the three. Who is the one that
Minnesota? Minnesota, I'd rather not see. They match up a little bit better.
They're scrappy too.
Yeah. They play more Denver style and match up better with them defensively. And our players. And the Nuggets are kind of soft. They're a little soft.
Tank. I didn't know it was my turn yet. I thought you were going to keep going. I think I would agree that obviously the Pelicans are the softest out of the three. They don't. If Zion's not playing, nothing about them is scary. I'm not sure on the matchup between Minnesota and OKC. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is one of the better younger talents coming up, I think, but I don't know if he's enough to carry that KC team yet. So I guess I'm going to lean towards Minnesota, but just slightly is the scarier of the two.
Agreed. I think I agree all the way around. All right. Good job, fellas. All right. We are into the last bit. Gentlemen, you've had a few days to scour the internet, come up with your thoughts, and give us your dipshits. Shout out to dipshit of the week. Tank, we'll start with you.
Do not start with me. Start with Mark.
All right. We'll start with Mark.
Well, first off, take a look at this video of Dinger dancing.
I saw this.
What is this?
I saw this today. For those of you who can't see this at home, local worst mascot in the country, Dinger, was dancing on the home team dugout, and some jabroni climbed up on the dugout and tackled him.
And then my other dipshit of the week, if it can't be politically based, because anyways, is going to be that dude who took a piss.
Brewers fan. That's what I thought you were going to pick no matter what.
Yeah. I had another one, but this one was pretty good. I guess I got to send this to you, Tank.
Right in the middle of the concourse, this guy drunk as all get out, can't find the bathroom, and decides, this is as good a place as any to drop trow and take a leak.
Yeah, and
not
only that, but there are several people videoing him, and you can see it from different angles. And like the second angle I saw, the security guard walks up to him, just like looks. And then it's just like,
nope.
And then walks away. It's just like
he walks up, and you can just see it. It says like, nope, not gonna do this today. $13 an hour is not enough.
This one's above my pay grade.
I am not getting pissed on for $13 an hour. It was so good.
It's like spraying his shit just everywhere.
He's got like the witch salt circle of pee all the way around him, like he's making designs. It's like, are you writing your name in the snow, bro? What are you doing? Okay. Mark, you know this. You and I have been absolutely shithouse in our lives at different sporting events. Never,
1,000%.
Never, ever have we gotten to the point that we decided that just pissing where we stood was a good idea.
And we've been hammered. I think there may have been not anybody on the current panel, but there's somebody we know who's pissed themselves on a bus because they were too hammered.
And I was this close. I was this close.
Impressive.
But we haven't had the full on
Matt, hold my wallet.
forgot that he said that.
What do you give this for? And he looks at me and says, "It's too late for me, son." He gave me the Darth Vader. And then I ran off the bus, pissed in a bush at Arapahoe High School, and promptly threw up. And Mom says, "Oh, that's because you had so much urine in your bladder, your blood pressure cratered." It happens to paraplegics. Like, what?
Yeah. Till like 4 years ago, I thought that was true.
Like, what do you mean?
Because of that, like that sticks with you when you're like 5.
Oh my God.
Oh fuck.
All right, Tank, if you're not ready, I can go because I've got a good one.
I think we got a winner with the dude pissing in the. I don't even want to. Yeah, I got nothing to offer up.
Okay.
That. So.
All right, so my dipshit of the week is not a person,
fantastic,
but it's a team. I don't know if you guys heard about the Rocket City Trash Pandas.
I love the trash pandas.
You guys hear about this? So I always knew that this was a possibility, but I never actually thought I would see it happen. So Rocket City Trash Pandas are playing somebody. I don't know. Oh, the Lookouts. They're playing the Lookouts. They're up 3-0. It's a 7-inning game because they're playing a doubleheader. Their starting pitcher throws 6 innings of no-hit ball. Manager decides to pull him. They're up 3-0 going into the bottom or the top of the 7th. Here's what happens. The Trash Pandas then proceed to issue a walk, a pop out, a walk. So you've got one out, bases loaded. Strike out the next guy. So it's still 3-0, and there's one out left. Walk, scores a run. Error, 2 more score. So now it's 3-3. Hit by pitch, loads the bases.
Oh my God.
Hit by pitch, scores a run.
Oh my God.
Hit by pitch. Again.
Oh my God.
Run. Walk.
Holy fuck.
Hit by pitch. So now it's 7-3.
They have scored 7 unanswered
without
an inning.
Without a hit.
Yeah, but without a hit.
Jesus Christ.
Hit the next guy.
Oh my God.
Strike out the last batter. So now it's 7-3. The Trash Pandas scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th and lose 7-5, throwing a no-hitter.
So, is there any chance that guy
my God.
cut, by the way?
Oh, there were multiple pitchers.
I know, but the guy, let's just start with the guy that started the downfall, the spiral.
Maybe. I mean, I don't have the lineup moves. Yeah, I don't have the full box score as to who did what. But they plunked 5 guys. Wait a minute. Let me count this again.
How many?
Well, and the guy was
1, 2, 3 plunks,
Trash.
5 walks,
7 runs.
7 runs without a hit.
The guy that started the downfall was Ben Joyce, who's actually number 11 ranked prospect, who throws smoke and just absolutely shit himself in the middle of the diamond. And that was aggressive. That was an aggressive display of just absolute incompetence.
Right. 5 walks, 6, 4 hit by pitch. Jesus Christ. Error. I need to see the box score of this.
5 walks, 4 HBPs, 1 wild pitch, and an error. No hits.
Holy shit.
0 hits.
0 hits. So it was like 7-0-1. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I give you my choice for the dipshit of the week. The Trash Pandas.
They they gave up one hit in a doubleheader.
Yeah.
That was part of a doubleheader.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So the first guy who pitched did all 6.
Oh yeah, he did amazing.
3-0 lead in 78 pitches. That's fucking amazing.
The guy that would have won the game seemingly was it God, what was his name? He's actually looking like he might do some. Oh, Coleman Crow was the guy that was doing it. Just absolutely dominated them, and then they.
Mama Sue wants to know: is the error when he shits himself?
I'm guessing so.
That is an error.
Yeah,
That
that's
is an error.
Yep, absolutely.
That was. That goddamn man, talking about bad baseball. Holy shit!
That is bad
Fuck,
baseball.
That is
bad.
That is bad baseball. Is bad baseball.
Oh, that is an implosion of just epic proportions.
Yeah, how do you even equal that out? That incompetent of a performance that you walk or hit that many players consecutively is absurd.
With 2 outs.
With 2 outs.
It started okie dokie, kind of.
Right. They got to 2 outs and like plink, plink, ball 4.
Let me just throw this into the backfield.
Right. All right, Tank, you got a
Good
dipshit, or are you just going to let that roll?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to let. I think the guy pissing in the corridor might be the winner, just because that's.
Well, now that Mama's on there, do I need to send the link in the family chat to that
send
one?
the link. Yeah, send the link there. Send all of it.
I mean, my dipshit of the week was probably going to be Rudy Gobert, but that's.
Yeah, Rudy Gobert is a turd, but whatever.
That pales in comparison to both the fantastical display of unbelievable shit pitching, and then the dude just pissing in the middle of the corridor is amazing.
Opening day in Milwaukee, man. Gotta love it.
Pissing himself a John Constantine-like circle of piss spirituality.
He had a loaded tank on that one.
Yeah, he did. Oh, that's a lot of Miller Lite.
Yeah.
Before we get into final thoughts, I do want to give a shout out. I just got a text, or I just saw a text shortly after we started. We got from faithful listener, Triffin. There's a lot of F's in that stint. A lot of F's.
Triffin. Never forget that moment.
Yeah,
Faithful listener,
Triffin, who points out another trash wrestling gimmick: Perry Saturn and his girlfriend, the Mop.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Fuck, they just went rogue on Perry Saturn.
Perry Saturn,
poor guy.
Like, what are you doing? What is this?
Made him carry a mop for like a year.
Perry Saturn
a mop to begin with, so
right.
there we go.
Perry Saturn was like Taz if you ordered him off Wish.
Right.
Which is unfortunate because he actually was a good wrestler.
Yeah. Right.
Unfortunate.
He just had zero personality.
Yeah, no charisma whatsoever. So
zero personality.
So they gave him a mop
he had the
girlfriend.
weird facial hair and like just flexing, and that was his thing.
And the tats.
Yeah.
The Tyson face mask. Yeah.
And the girlfriend who was a mop.
What was his fucking ridiculous move? The rings of Saturn.
Yeah, the rings of Saturn.
I love that.
Yeah.
Death Valley Driver and the rings of Saturn.
Yep. Your wife has seen the piss video.
Yeah, she has.
Am I that guy in the family now that just finds all this goofy shit?
Yeah, you might be. You might be.
Me and Michaela were the ones that find all the
goofy shit, right? All right. Final thoughts. Pimp all the things. Talk about the stuff. Tank, you're up.
Okay. Find me on all the things at either Knox Nostalgic Collectibles or Tank Knox. I think we have something coming up soon where you're going to be showing up at a couple of events, but I'm not sure exactly when that is. No, I'm good. Yeah, everything's good. Let's go Avs, Nuggets, maybe Rockies.
There you go. All right, Mark, you're up. What do you got?
Yeah, Rockies suck. They would do better if they hired Gene Mingo.
To do what? Coach
And
or play?
just be there. Just be
Okay.
Gene Mingo. Just
The,
be one with
the,
the
Hands.
the magical touch of Jing Mingo cannot be denied.
That is correct. Although that sounds really naughty the way you said it.
Right, needs to be a shirt. The magical.
It's like Midas.
He's somewhere out there, Gene Mingo's actually watching us going, no, that's not my slogan.
That's
A magical touch, no, God.
You've got the touch.
Oh.
You got the power. Shout out 1984 Transformers. All right, Mark, you're up. Besides that
was it.
that was it.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Shout out to Toaster Town. Nothing. You want to go see the Baby Clock tour?
Yeah, I mean, I'm down. I don't really want to pay for tickets to that show, but I'd love to go see it.
Working on it.
Like,
okay.
yeah. I mean,
I don't really want to pay to go, but
three grown-ups pretending to be teen girls with a real band behind them, and then
Death
a
Clock.
real band with, cartoon forms in front of them playing real music, but as cartoons.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't pay for it, but I'll go see it.
All right, good. I'm working on it. All right.
Okay.
Make sure you catch My Brother's an Idiot on Facebook. Just search that. We'll let you in. The Goon Twitter is at The Idiot Goons. You can find us there on Twitch as well. Mark's Twitter is at Puffletime. My Twitter is at Pufflepugus. You can find me on TikTok at King Goon Smoke. Probably no smoking this week. I'm going to Tampa actually tomorrow. Flying to Tampa and then driving to Fort Myers to teach a class for a new restaurant opening. So we'll probably not have time. But
sounds like a fun adventure.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. For the absent Mioti, we love you, Mioti.
We love you, Mioti.
For the absent Dipshit, we loved having you last week, Dipshit. We love you, Dipshit.
Missed you, Dipshit.
Yeah, that was awesome. And for Tank and the Goldagoon, make sure you take care of yourselves, take care of your families, take care of each other. This has been My Brother's an Idiot. We'll catch you next time. See ya. Bruh.
Bruh.
Bruh.